Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're doing well from wherever you are watching this channel. The disagreement and internal wrangles within the UDA that led to the ouster of the former chairperson, Cleopas Malala, has opened a can of worms. This time round, there are shocking revelations just about the rot and the mess within the UDA party. It has been revealed that despite William Ruto coming out very openly and telling Kenyans that one of his pet projects, so to say, was to ensure that every Kenyan would pay taxes because he was claiming that under the Uhuru regime, of course, they were together. Ruto was saying that there were people who are exempted or who are evading taxes. And he was saying that those were some close businessmen and politicians who are reading from the same page as Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. That despite that, the UDA party is not remitting taxes and they are blatantly evading taxes, contrary to Ruto's promise to Kenyans.
Everybody first must pay tax. Yeah, let's begin there. This is not the animal farm where some animals are more equal than others. This is Kenya. We are all equal. Everybody pays their portion of the tax. And number two, we are going to make sure that more people come into the space where they work with government to pay tax. What am I doing about it? As you just said, we are going to digitize all government services in the next 6 months. Yeah, e-citizen, which we had started in, we had started, ran into headwinds, and nobody wanted to sort it out. I came in, I called the e-citizen guys. We have sorted out the e-citizen shenanigans, and in the next 6 months, every government service will be available online, digitally. And with it, every government service where tax is payable is going to be collectible online. I am not going to wait for anybody to say, okay, I will file a return at the end of the month. There will be nothing like that. We will be paying tax as we spend our money, or as we do our business.
Now, when Malala was ousted from his position, he appealed at the political party's dispute tribunal. And the revelations that came out are something that William Ruto would not even want to associate himself with. You remember when the UDA unveiled new officials to head the election board, members of the election board, one of the people who raised eyebrows was Anthony Mwaura, who was and still is the chairperson of the Kenya Revenue Authority. Kenyans were asking, is Mwaura working for the government or working for the party? Because you cannot serve two masters. He's a public servant, and there was no way he was going to work for William Samoei Ruto. So there are more revelations coming out that are very startling. Malala told the political parties dispute tribunal that the party was not remitting the mandatory statutory deductions and was evading taxes. And in a letter that Malala, as the SG, wrote to the relevant department within the party, Malala reminded them that paying tax was not only constitutional but was mandatory under the policies and the agreement of the UDA party. But all this was ignored, and it could be seen as one of the reasons why Malala was ousted. Like I said, it opened a can of worms. Now, it is also revealed that even the housing levy deductions that William Ruto really fought hard and preached that gospel and defended it even in the court, that housing levy is not being remitted from the UDA party. Do you know how much UDA party receives. This was happening despite UDA party getting the lion's share from the political party's funds. They are getting over 360 million Kenya shillings. But from that money, not even a single cent has been paid the normal statutory deductions for their staff members, not even the housing levy. More startling information is even coming out that during the party's grassroots elections, the UDA party imported election tablets worth 90 million Kenya shillings, but evaded taxes through the aid of their chairperson of election board, Mr. Anthony Maura, because he's also the chairman of the KRA. So they were aided and they evaded taxes on the election materials that they paid, election materials that they acquired. And this is something that is really worrying Kenyans, because William Ruto is a man who is preaching water and drinking wine. He's never serious. And now it is becoming apparently very clear that he's doing the very things he accused his predecessor of undertaking. It has now come out that paying taxes is a preserve of, let me say, it's meant for the poor, the common man. The high and mighty are evading taxes. Yet William Ruto is telling us that he wants Kenya to grow. Kenya cannot grow if we are like in an animal farm where some animals are more equal than others. Because were it not for the internal wrangling within the party, we wouldn't have known this. Because when Malala went to appeal, this is how things were revealed to us. It corroborates all the facts. It confirms our fears that this government is never serious about what they say. They make very many promises. They compel people to do things that their close allies don't do. A common man is forced to pay taxes when the high and mighty are exempted with a lot of impunity. Now, even as this information is coming out, we are still getting more money, getting more loans, and this money is getting into people's pockets. It is never accounted for. If you look at the whole government holistically, you'll realize that we need a radical surgery. And this is why I keep on saying that people need to be very angry. People need to be very angry so that come 2027, people will go to vote with a lot of anger to kick out all these people. Because with this government in power for another 2-3 years, if at all Ruto gets re-elected, I don't know where we'll be left. The gap between the rich and the poor will widen. The cost of education will continue to be very high, because no one seems to care about you and I. No one seems to care about the common man. They think of themselves. You cannot imagine that UDA, a party that takes pride that they were elected overwhelmingly, a party that they have bragged about as the most popular party, is evading taxes. Yet William Ruto contested his presidency on a platform that he was going to maximize collection of revenue so that we can realize our development. I found this very pathetic, if you ask me. And if this does not make you angry, then I don't know what will make you angry.